Alrighty, so today for math, we're doing Unit 11, Lesson 15 and 16. Okay, both topics are use a number line to solve length word problems. So yes, we are working with word problems today. Don't be intimidated. It's perfect to do them now because you can watch this video over and over again. If you need help understanding more, of course, you can always contact me to see if we can work one-on-one. But I think you guys can do this. It's not super tough. It's not super challenging. We're still working with comparing objects, comparing numbers, and our number line. So the word problems are the most challenging part about them are probably going to be the reading part for some of you. All right. So our objective is today I will solve word problems involving length by writing an equation and using a number line. So I drew a number line up here, even though there's one down here, to show you a couple of things or to discuss a couple of things. Remember that a number line goes on infinitely. That means it goes on forever in both directions. Okay, that's why we put arrows at the ends of our number lines, because that signifies that there are lots of numbers that go after, even if we're not looking at it directly. You only put numbers on the number line that you need, because you use it as a tool to count, correct? So you only need to put on the numbers that involve the lengths of your objects, or whatever numbers that you need in that situation. In this case, it would be the two lengths of our objects, right? So if we were comparing two markers, and one was, or we're comparing a paperclip and a marker, and one was 1 inch and the other one was 7, you're only going to use a number line that has the numbers 1 through 7. You don't need all of these extra lines. They're just taking up space. So you would only do 0 through maybe even 0 through 7 maybe, or 0 through 9. Okay? So keep that in mind. You don't need to draw a number line that includes all kinds of numbers, just the numbers that you need. All right, our vocabulary. The first one is difference in length. The definition is how much longer or shorter one object is than the other. We've been working with this all week, so you should know when we're talking about the difference, that means that we're trying to figure out what is similar or different, right? That means that one is going to be longer and one's going to be shorter. Okay, then the total length is the sum of lengths of two or more objects. So we haven't been doing this much yet. We've been mostly looking for the difference, correct? So today we're going to start to see when we're combining two lengths. Okay, so if this one was 7 and this one was 7, and we're combining them, what math function are we using? Addition, correct? So we're going to use 7 plus 7 is 14. All right, number line. Again, number line is a line that marks numbers in sequence. That's something that I didn't mention up here, but you'll know that a number line is set up in order. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so forth. You don't put 0, 7, 5, 4, 7, 10. It's not out of order. It's always in order, in sequence. Okay, here are going to be some example equations. I'm not going to read them off right now because they're going to look kind of, they're a little different because we're not used to looking at variables. When you see a letter in the sentence, those are called variables. Okay, not too important to remember that now. It's basically a letter that takes place of an unknown number. Okay, if the unknown number is different in a different spot, typically we use a different letter. Okay, example, Chris has a 10-foot board. He cut some of the board off and has 3 feet left. How many did Chris cut off? Okay, so if we were writing this into an equation, we're going to start off with the first number that we saw. Chris has a 10-foot board, so here's our 10. Okay, he cuts off some of the board. We don't know what that number is, and cutting off means that we're getting rid of it, right? So it's minus, and then we're going to use a letter to stand for the unknown. So 10 minus some number, x, equals, and we know what it equals, 3 feet. So all you need to do is figure out how much was cut off. 10 minus what is 3? Good, 7. Okay, so again, we will learn how to plug in an unknown in just a second. Okay, our steps. Step 1 is to read the word problem. Step 2 is to write the equation. Step 3 is to make a number line, and step 4 is to solve. So let's jump right in, and then we'll revisit the steps in a second. Okay, so number 1 says, Mary ran 60 meters in the morning. She ran another 14 meters in the evening. How many total meters did she run? So remember when we were looking at vocabulary words, it says total. What does the total mean? Total length? The sum of lengths of 2 or more objects. So what does the sum mean? That's the answer when we are what? Adding, right? So we're going to take our numbers, our lengths, 60 meters. 60 meters, and you need to always be writing your distances or your lengths. 60 meters, and she ran another 14 meters. So are we subtracting, adding? What are we doing? We decided we were adding. 14 meters equals how many? It says we need to use a variable, correct? So we're going to just choose x because we're solving for x. All right, next step, we need to make our number line. So here's our number line. Remember I said at the beginning that our number line needs to only include the numbers that we need, right? So are we going to start off at 0? No, we're going to start off with 60. All right, so maybe one before. 59 is the one before. We'll start off with 60. And then we're going to add some more to the line. How many do you think we should add? Should we add only 5? No. Should we add 10? No. What about 15? Yeah, right? Because we need to add 14 to it. You can actually just add 14 lines because that's all you need. So I'm going to add 15 just because it's an easy, nice number. Okay, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I'm going to make sure to plug the numbers in. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Okay, but remember, I added 15 to here. So I only need to jump here. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to make my jumps, okay? So I set up my number line. Now I just need to solve. So 60 meters plus 14 meters. Here's my 60, and I'm going to jump 14 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Here's our 14. So 60 plus 14 equals 74. So x equals 74 meters. How many total meters did she run? 74 meters. And I'm going to write that in a sentence because you know that we always write a sentence when we're solving word problems. So Mary ran 74 total meters. Easy peasy. All right, number 2. A table is 80 inches long. A tablecloth is 93 inches long. What is the difference in length between the table and tablecloth? So again, this is the most important part, right? Reading the question and figuring out what they're asking you to do. So we know that we have a table and it's 80 inches long. We also know that a tablecloth is 93 inches long. They want us to see what is the difference. So are we adding or subtracting? We're subtracting. So we need to do 80. We need to take 80 and 93 and subtract. But would you take the 80 away, 80 minus 93 or 93 minus 80? Right, 93 inches minus 80 inches. You need to be careful because you can't do 80 minus 93. Later in a higher math, you're going to learn how to do that. But right now, you know that when you're finding the difference, you're taking the largest number and you're taking your largest number, taking away the smaller number. Okay. And then you need to put in equals, and you can use a different letter than you used before. So we used X before. We're going to use Y. Okay, and then now we need to solve for Y. So when we subtract, do we count? Are we counting forward or counting backwards? Counting backwards, right? We're going to the left. So we need to put our biggest number on the number line on the right-hand side of the number line. 93. And up here, we just added how many we were adding. Back here, can you just put 80 on here? No. You need to add numbers in between till you get to subtracting 80. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start adding. So 93 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to pause you and add all of my tick marks. All right, here we go. So I set it up and it looks a little funky, but remember I taught you last lesson that your tick marks on your number line do not need to be evenly spaced out because you're just using them to count. Okay, so as long as you know that there are that you count in sequence, then you know that these lines are what they are, right? So these ones are more spread out than here, but what I did was every 10 marks, I made them big. So I know that they're a set of 10. Because it's easy, right? It's easier for us to add and subtract groups of 10. Okay, so if we skip count backwards, subtracting 10, starting at 93, this is what we get. So 93 minus 10, or subtract 1 from the tens place, is 83. Then do it again. So I'm going to do 10 jumps. This is a 10. Here's another 10. So 83 minus 10 is 73. 73 minus 10 is 63. 63 minus 10 is 53. 53 minus 10 is 43. 43 minus 10 is 33. 33 minus 10 is 23. 23 minus 10 is 13. Oopsies. 13. So what is, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and that's what we're subtracting, correct? Good, so 93 minus 80 is 13. Y equals 13. So what is the difference in length? The difference in length between the table and the tablecloth is 13 inches. So you're going to go and write your sentence now. The difference in length between the table and tablecloth is 13 inches. Easy peasy. Okay, so that's what you want to do for structure guided practice and final check for understanding. Okay, same thing. You need to figure out if you're adding or subtracting, set up your number line, and plug them in and then solve. So I'm going to skip ahead to lesson 16. If you need to pause this video so you can finish your work, or if you want to continue and then finish it all together later, that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to go ahead and skip it. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So just pause this video or stop it and revisit it. All right. So here we go. Lesson 16. Same vocabulary words, same steps. Okay. It's essentially we're doing the same work. Okay. You need to read the problem. So number 1 says, at recess, Sarah ran 37 yards and Jim ran 12 yards. How many yards did they run total? So we're looking in total. So what are we adding or subtracting? Adding. Good. So 37 yards. Remember, you need to write your units of measurement, yards, plus 12 yards equals, and then choose a letter. And we can choose X. Up to you. You can choose any letter that you want. Typically, when you're talking about algebra, you're using letters X, Y, and Z. However, there will be situations where you use other letters, and it's really up to you because you're the one that needs to know what you're solving for. Okay? Okay, so we're adding. So what numbers do we put on to the number line? We're going to start at 0? No, we're going to start at 37. Okay, when we're adding, you're just going to add, you're going to put your first addend on the number line. And yes, you can put 12 and then add 37, but you don't want to do that because you don't want to sit there and add, start at 12 and add 37 tick marks. You probably only want to add the smallest amount of tick marks. So here, starting at 37, we're going to add 12 tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now all I need to do is add or count on. 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Therefore, X equals 49 yards. They ran 49 yards total. Okay, so guys, I know that it's intimidating to some of you guys because they're word problems. So realistically, you're just taking the numbers and then figuring out what you're going to do with them. So if you didn't read all of the words in the sentence, you can just take the numbers and try to figure out what to do with them by looking for keywords. Okay, so I see 46 inches and in first grade and 52 inches in second grade. It's asking how much did he grow. So we're looking at what the difference is. So I know that I'm subtracting. I also know that I take the bigger number and put it first. The big number is my minuend. So 52 inches. So the smaller number needs to be my subtrahend. 52 inches minus 46 inches. And choose a letter different from the one up there. So Y. Okay. I also know, and I remember from learning from my subtraction unit, that my subtrahend goes up to the very far right. 52. Then I need to add my tick marks for 46 inches because that's what I'm taking away. So 52, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you're wondering how many 10s I need to do, how many 10s are in 46? 4. So I need to do 4 sets of 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then I need to do my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All I need to do now is subtract. I'm going to jump 10. So 52 minus 10 is 42. And I'm going to keep writing where I'm subtracting so I can keep track. 42 minus 10 is 32. 32 minus 10, 22. 22 minus 10, 12. Okay, now I know I don't have another set of, I don't have another 10. So I'm just going to subtract 1 by ones. So 12 minus 1 is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 52 inches minus 46 inches equals 6 inches. Y equals 6 inches. Okay, so now all I need to do is write my sentence. Philip grew 6 inches Philip grew 6 inches. That's it. Remember that you need to use a punctuation mark. All right, so you need to do finish structured guided practice and final check for understanding, and your student practice. So again, do student guided practice, structured guided practice for both lessons 15 and 16, and then final check for understanding for both, and then student practice for lesson 16. All right, guys, get going. Please, if you need any help, please let me know. I will be happy to have a meeting with you or a tutor session. All right, bye.